Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
This is what I tell them.
I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles, compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles, go take care of your business. Success Chronicles, it's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And today we are here with the hit man, Stephen Kuhn. He's coming to us from Budapest, Hungary, and great man, has achieved, lots of amazing things, military vet, worked with some greats in the business. And I'm so thankful to have him on this episode of the Success Chronicles. So thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure. I love being on with great people. It's pretty, and I can tell from the pre-discussion that we're gonna have a good one here.
Let's go. Well, let's dive into it. Talk to us about your life story.
Oh man, I could go on forever, but let's put it in a nutshell. It's difficult. I left the States in 1986 to go into the military. They sent me to Germany, where I stayed pretty much for 8 years, except for a tour in Iraq. And I fell in love with the country. I really did. I fell in love with the language. I was on border patrol, so I learned the German language really quick so I could understand what was going on the other side. Because I thought, as the private in the army, that I was going to stop the Cold War. So I wanted to speak the language so I could figure it out. And then after Iraq, I got out and stayed in Germany. I literally got what they call a European out, and I stepped off base, and I was a civilian. And I started my life. And the things that I have, this uncanny sort of habit that I do, that when a change happens in my life, I stop, look and listen, and then save it in my hard drive. So when I joined the Army, I left Pennsylvania, where I'm from, and knew, okay, I'm done with that life. That life's over. I'm going to start a new me, because I didn't like myself. I was like a pudgy. I tried every sport in high school. I sucked at every single one of them. And I was always the guy at the end of the game that screwed it up. So literally, it was like, oh shit, Kuhn's on the field, So I got, no one could bully me because I was the biggest guy in the school, but I was a dork. So when I didn't like myself. So when I went to the Army, that was one of those moments where when that razor touched my head and they were shaving my hair off in boot camp, I was like, okay, the new me is here.
New guy.
Yeah, but how do you know? I was 19 years old. Well, how do you know what's new? So you just build upon that. And then I got out of the Army and I stepped off base. The new me is here again, right? Mm. This is how I live my life. And I can remember these points very, very clearly because I saved them in my hard drive in my head somewhere, saying in 20 years, I'm going to look back at this. I'm going to say, okay, damn, man, you did a lot. Anyway, so I got out. I started as a security guard, doorman, in the underworld of Berlin and in the first techno clubs that ever existed. The Love Parade, if you ever heard of it, it's a parade of 1 million people that used to happen in Berlin. It's a techno music parade. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. Got into restaurants and bars, opened up my own restaurants, bars, and a club, a co-owner of a club in Berlin. Got messed up with the underworld, so to say. So I left that, and at the same time I was opening that, I was getting into the corporate world as a consultant, and it just exploded everything. So I worked for people like Mick Jagger, and although that was a bodyguard position, I have to say, Andrea Bocelli, Olivia Newton-John took her business into 6 countries in Europe. And I just kept doing that. And I started working with politicians in Germany, I was a co-founded a political pressure group that's turned into a party now. It's the 3rd largest party in Germany. And through that, of course, I met world leaders. I spoke to parliaments. I worked with politicians, consulting them. And then I stopped in 2017, October 2017. And I said, I'm no longer traveling because I have 2 young children. My son just turned 5. My daughter is turning 4 in August. And my wife is a bit younger than me. And I want to be here with them. I live in Budapest, Hungary, outside of Budapest, Hungary, in a small village. And I was just done traveling 4 days a week ever since we met. We've been together for 10 years. And so I decided to do everything online without a plan. just with the will to succeed. And in my first 3 months, all I did was just show up on my camera like this and start talking live. And I went on Facebook into the veteran group, since I'm a military veteran, and I started talking, and I made 100K in my first 3 months with no advertising, marketing, or anything, just doing lives. I said, okay, there's a business here. And so it's been almost 2 years. I've done a live video every day. I do a live video every morning. So it's going on 2 years doing live videos every day. Yeah, made a business out of it. Now I'm branching out. I've done all kinds of stuff, speak all over the place. So it sounds a little eclectic, and it is actually very eclectic, but there's one thing that's in common with everything that I do that sort of, connects everything that I do. And that's what I teach. And that's the core principles that I live by. And they are honesty, integrity, and transparency. Hence the HIT man, HIT. And we can get into those in a minute if you wish, what they are.
Yes. Well, what are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
For me, it's I don't ever see an end. That's the trick to staying young. I'm 52. No one believes it. And it's, they say, how do you do that? And I say, well, I learned it from a 93-year-old bodybuilder. Not kidding. In Switzerland, he said, always be in competition with yourself. Always see the goals you reach as the starting point for the next goal. Right? Never stop going. Right? And always see the building upon. So when I reach something, I'm like, okay, yeah, I knew I could do that. Now it's on to the next thing. But if I could be, the one thing I'm proud of is I'm proud that I got my stuff together after my first failed marriage and learned what not to do in my second marriage. So like I have this amazing wife that I have right now that just is absolutely everything to me, as far as the love of my life partner, everything. And she's the only woman I've ever met besides my mother, who stands beside me, not behind me. And just like, every woman before, oh, you go do your thing, I'll be, whatever it was, or I'll take care of whatever. She's like, no, we're doing this together, you and I. Boom. And when she means together, she means I'm here to support you, help you, push you, help you when you're down, whatever you need to do to keep your back free so we can be successful. That's what she's there for. And I never asked for that. She saw it. She saw that as her role. And for me, it's just a blessing. And besides that, she's absolutely beautiful and just a stunning personality as well. So I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah. My kids, of course, that's an easy one. I'm so proud of my children. We live here in a small village outside of Budapest, 2,000 people, and it just so happens it's a German settlement. So they learned English from me. They learned Hungarian from the school and from the mother, and they learn German in the school because it's mandatory. So they're 4 and 5 years old, speak 3 languages. Pretty proud of that. It isn't like we taught them; it just so happens, but I'm still proud of it. And I don't know. The third thing, I think my third thing is never ever seeing a failure as something that is permanent. I think that's my number one sort of being thankful for that.
Hey, I was trying to wait till you finish, but I wanted to hit you with some sound effects on that, like ooh.
Well, if I could tell you a few times when I had failure, one was when I grabbed the gun of a German police officer and tried to shoot myself. That was a failure. I didn't see that as an end. I saw it as a point to change. When I lost everything in 1 week, ex-wife, job, all my money, an apartment. I was homeless on the street in Berlin, Germany. That wasn't a matter of fact, I reveled in that. I actually loved it. I was like, man, this is what it's like not to worry about anything. Like literally, you give up that connection to it. Because someone said to me, I said, man, what am I going to do? I got to pay my bills. And they said, look, what are they going to do? What can they do to you? Put you in jail? What are they going to do to you? I was like, yeah, you're right. They can't do anything. So I literally left and went to a monastery. And a buddy of mine picked me up. I said, look, man, if you don't come get me, I'll probably won't be here tomorrow. I was ready to, knock myself off. So it was a really bad time. I lost everything, that kind of stuff. So he sent me to a monastery in Austria with Benedictine Christian monks who meditate and chant. So I spent 8 months there and just found myself, completely found who I was, why I'm here, my purpose, my mission, my purpose in my intentions. Everything was there. It was so crystal clear after about 8 months. But not many people have that luxury, right? And I saw it as a luxury, although it was because I was either going there or I wasn't going to be here anymore. So you see what I mean by saying that a failure isn't a permanent thing. It isn't. It depends how you look at it. There's always a silver lining. There's always something good out of it. I mean, this is People say, oh yeah, those big moments. I'm not talking about the big moments. I'm talking about every single day, right? You stub your toe, you walk out the door, you trip, you fall, you hit your head in the railing, the keys go down into the drain, in the gutter in the street, and then what I mean? It's like one of those chain reaction events.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me. It's like, okay, something's trying to tell me to stay home. So I'm going to stay home. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
stay away from the drains.
Yeah. So, that's you just roll with it. And when you roll with life, everything changes. And there's a thing that we do that I teach. It's called creating space, and that teaches you to have no expectations unless you verbalize them. So your whole life changes when you go about what you do and you operate from the core principles of HIT. You're coming from a honest place, so you have no reason to have expectations of anyone at all, because where you're coming from is pure. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to, discredit anyone to gain that significance that a lot of people try to do. You just say what you say, and that's it. And that I can't explain to you how powerful no expectations is. Imagine coming home and your wife is, hey baby, what's up? No expectation. You give her flowers, no expectation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? So you give her flowers. She's like, what'd you do? That kind of stuff, right? And you're like, well, no, it's not what I want to do. It's what I want to do. And, so all that stuff, right? All that stuff fades away. Yeah, you got it. All that stuff fades away. And it just creates this glorious life of ease, of total ease, of just living and loving. And I call it quality of life. If you ever watch one of my videos, I end every single video with, it's all about quality of life. And that's because that's the end goal for everybody on the planet, right? Quality of life. That's what I strive for.
Love it. You hit on several key points that I think we all can take and use in our life to help us be, super effective. And I think as you were mentioning some of those things, I was thinking, yeah, that's right. No expect. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So powerful.
It is. And I think it puts you in alignment with your assignment when you can do those things.
Oh, I like that. It puts you in alignment with your assignment. Oh, yeah. Dropping some wisdom there.
That's it. Well, let's hit on success. What is your definition of success?
For me, success is a byproduct of your of following your core values and your purpose. There's one thing in life people talk about a lot, and that's belief, right? Belief is however, an active action. So you have to take action to believe. Then it turns into faith, much like religion, where you pray and you let it go. It goes up to the gods, the God, and you have faith that it will happen, but you pray over and over for this, right? Right? You pray over and over for the same thing, right? Hoping that, and that's showing that you don't have faith. Because if you pray more than once for the same thing, you're like, well, I don't trust you. Then it turns, if you're really good, it turns into certainty. That's the one thing where you can let go of the how. You can let go of the what. You can let go of everything because it's going to happen. For instance, I went, I decided to stop my business, and I went to Peru on a journey. I do this once a year with a bunch of usually guys, business leaders. And we go and we work with the sacred plant medicine, and we help them find their purpose. And of course, I help them redefine my purpose as well, because it's always changing. And I went down there and I said, I need to be certain, 100% certain that I will start an online business, that I will make $100,000 in 3 months, and that I will buy a house for my family. That was this only three things that my intention was going into the ceremonies. It was a 10-day journey. That's what's going to happen. I left there knowing it was happening, and I didn't wonder. I didn't think about it. Matter of fact, I forgot about it until it happened. I was like, holy shit, all three things happened within that time period. It was incredible. And that's where the certainty comes in. So we teach that as well, how to create certainty through identity and purpose. And it's just incredible that when just imagine, you want to buy a house, right? You want to buy a house. Once you get it to the point from belief to faith to certainty, once that certainty is there, you can forget about worrying about how you're going to get it, because you know it's going to happen. You don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. That's freedom. It's incredible. Yeah. And it works. It's really, I mean, you hear me getting excited about it. I do it all the time. It's like, I'm not beyond things like this, vision boards. I'm not beyond stuff like that. That vision board's there to create certainty for me in the things that I want. We did a vision board for our house, and 3 months later we had the house. 3 months. And the exact house that I wanted, with an extra office and an extra pool house, everything. It's crazy. In Hungary, no less. You know?
Yeah.
So if there's one thing that I can preach, and that's certainty, man. Certainty is so key to success, because you're not worried about driving your car towards there. You know it's going to go there, and you can create the lifestyle you want. So you see, so many people set goals, targets and goals. Targets fall, goals don't, right? So you set targets and goals for one thing. You have like, I want to make $1 million. So you're running toward this $1 million, and you're like this, right? You're focused on $1 million, which is credible, right? It's a good thing. But there's two things that about, if you ask any successful person, ultra successful person, how much luck and coincidence played a role in their success, they're going to say about 30 to 40%. So if I'm like this and I'm running towards that $1 million, I'm not seeing left and right. That's where coincidence and everything plays, and luck plays a role. I have to see what's going on around me. I have to be aware and conscious of what's going on around me. But if my head's to the dirt and I'm running down trying to make $1 million, I'm going to miss it. That's why before you're running towards your goal, create certainty. You create certainty. Right? And you create certainty through this. And this is how you do it. When I pictured my house, right? I didn't just picture a house. I pictured the house down to the extra toilet in the pool house. Like literally all the way down. And then I envisioned it. I walked in the house. I smelled it. I tasted it, everything. And then I said, that house already exists. It's going to happen. Boom. I'm certain it's going to be there, and done with it. That's how one creates certainty. It's an incredible feeling when you have that. Incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's the short version.
Well, if you don't mind sharing with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love.
Yeah. Let's see. The best one, I have a live video every day on Facebook, two live videos every day on Facebook or Instagram. It's Stephen Kuhn Official on Facebook, and Stephen Eugene Kuhn on Instagram. My private page is full, unfortunately, so only the business page can be followed. And my website is stephen-kuhn.com. I do have a program for entrepreneurs where we have 4 classes a week. I have a Special Forces High Performance Mindset on Tuesdays, a hot seat on Wednesdays, industry professionals like big names coming in to teach on Thursdays. And Fridays we have the Fitness Entrepreneur Mindset from a UK professional coach. And that's a year-long program for entrepreneurs who are either plateaued or stuck or need a turnaround. And we 5, 10, 15, 20 times their revenue. So it's super affordable because we wanted to work with a lot of veterans, of course, but it's not only veterans. Mm-hmm. So it's not only super affordable, but I guarantee you're going to make that money back in revenue in that time, without a doubt, guaranteed. Or I work for you for free. And that's at stephenclass.com, stephenclass.com.
There it is.
There it is.
Boom.
Yeah. that's one of my. I say it on stage all the time, right?
Love it. That's it.
Boom. If you look at my speaker reel, on my website, you go to speaking. They actually use that in one of the reels. Like, right? Boom. I love it. It just says everything. You know what I mean?
That's it. Well, again, thank you for your time. Thanks for being on. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Thank you.
Go get it.